A decade after the Paris terror attacks, the black flags of jihad still fly, not over Syria or Iraq, but across Africa. ISIS and Al-Qaeda may have lost their leaders and their strongholds, but their ideology burns on. From the Sahel to Somalia, a new battleground has emerged, and the fight against terror has entered a deadlier, more fragmented phase. A decade after the devastating Paris attacks that claimed 130 lives, analysts say the world's two most infamous jihadist movements, Islamic State, ISIS, and Al-Qaeda, have evolved into fragmented but enduring networks. While their ability to launch large-scale operations in Europe has waned, their offshoots across Africa and Asia now represent the epicenter of global terrorism. Both organisations once operated under strong, centralised leadership, capable of training and dispatching commandos to strike deep into Europe. But since then, both have suffered crippling losses. ISIS, which once controlled vast territories across Iraq and Syria, has lost its sanctuaries. Its founder, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, was killed in a US raid in Syria in 2019. Al-Qaeda's leader, Ayman al-Zawahiri, met a similar fate in Afghanistan in 2022. Despite their diminished leadership, the ideology persists. Mark Hecker, executive director of the French Institute of International Relations, or IFRI, told AFP that the jihadist movement has reconfigured itself, but that the ultimate strategic objective for both Al-Qaeda and Daesh has not changed the establishment of a global caliphate. In Europe, the nature of the threat has shifted. Where once attacks were coordinated and directed by central commands, today's incidents are typically homegrown and inspired rather than orchestrated. France's national anti-terrorism prosecutor, Olivier Christin, said,
"We have moved from a so-called projected threat to one that is now typically homegrown."
He noted that many attackers are individuals on French soil who have never left and do not necessarily have direct links with terrorist organisations. Meanwhile, Africa and parts of Asia have become the new centres of jihadist activity. Alexandre Rod of France's National Gendarmerie Research Centre and Coventry University said,
"These groups are far from the Western world. They operate primarily in Africa, the Middle East, and Asia.
In Syria, the number of ISIS fighters is now estimated at between 1,000 and 1,500, a fraction of the 6,000 to 7,000 active militants in West Africa and the Lake Chad region, or the 2,500 operating in the Sahel. In the Sahel, Al-Qaeda's affiliate Jama'a Nusrat ul-Islam wa al-Muslimin, JNIM, has expanded rapidly and now threatens several regional regimes, including Mali's military junta. The group has imposed a blockade on fuel supplies, worsening the country's economic crisis. Analysts warn that the fall of Mali could trigger a domino effect. There are increasing concerns that if Mali falls, other governments in the region, including Burkina Faso and Niger, could follow, the Soufan Center, a US-based security think tank, cautioned. There is growing fear that jihadist momentum could spread across coastal West Africa. Elsewhere, Islamic State's West Africa province, ISWAP, remains highly active, while in the Horn of Africa, Al-Qaeda's affiliate Al-Shabaab continues to dominate. France's foreign intelligence chief, Nicolas Lerner, in a recent interview, said that Africa is now the epicenter of terrorism and directly threatens our interests. French security sources claim that the jihadists have also capitalized on shifting power dynamics in the Middle East. Following the fall of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, jihadists have enjoyed increased freedom of movement, and ISIS seized this opportunity. Though there is little evidence, it can regain its former power. In Afghanistan, the ISIS Khorasan branch remains among the most active, carrying out deadly attacks in 2024, including in Iran's Kerman and near Moscow. Yet, even this faction faces growing resistance. Reports quoting French sources say that its capacity to cause harm is considerably reduced, and the Taliban are waging a fierce and effective war against them. A decade after the Paris attacks, the map of jihadism has shifted, not erased, but redrawn. The threat persists, dispersed across continents, and far from over.